It's your girl Britt. Welcome to Run It Back with Britt, my weekly sports show where I talk about everything that is trending in sports. Well, not everything. This is not an hour-long show. This is just quick, fun stuff of my best moments that are trending in sports this week. Okay? Can you guys roll with that? Let's get into some of these. But before we do that, make sure you guys follow me on all social media at I am Britt Johnson. Don't forget to like this video, click subscribe, join that Noti gang, and you know, all that fun stuff. Alright, I didn't talk about it on the show last week because I did it in a separate video, but this Deshaun Watson stuff is never ending. We are now up to 20 women that have come forward and said that Deshaun Watson sexually assaulted them or did something inappropriate during, before, or after a massage session, okay? Well, now Deshaun Watson's lawyers came out with 18 women that are massage therapists that are in support of Deshaun Watson and said that they never experienced anything like that. So now everybody's like, see, the 20 women are lying because there's 18 women that said it didn't happen. Well, I mean, just because you're not sexually assaulting everybody doesn't mean you never sexually assaulted somebody. And again, I'm not for or against anything. I'm for the truth and for justice in whatever capacity that lies in. I do find it interesting that the women who have come forward, their attorney has decided to not give the evidence that they have to the police so they could investigate and do a criminal investigation against Deshaun Watson. None of this is going to be even remotely figured out before the draft. So now it bars the question, what do the Houston Texans do? Do they try to trade for him? Do people want to trade and get Deshaun Watson on their team at this point? Do they just cut the guy? Like, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I will definitely continue to keep you updated, and hopefully this smooths out and it's good news moving forward. All right, next, March Madness. And what a March Madness this has been. It has been absolutely insane. More upsets than I could ever imagine. You guys know I had Ohio State winning the whole entire thing. Well, thanks to Oral Roberts, they lost in the very first round, which is insane. But, I mean, my personal bracket is actually doing good. I think I'm third in my group right now because I did such a good job on my other picks, including picking two of the teams that made it to the Final Four in Gonzaga, who will be playing UCLA, an 11 seed. They are actually the second team to go from playing in a first four to a Final Four, so that is incredible. On the other side, we have Houston playing Baylor. Baylor's men team hasn't made it to the Final Four since like 1950, so this is huge for that program as well. Of course, we can't get to this moment of the Final Four without having a little bit of drama. We had a lot of drama, but the latest drama happened to be Oregon State, who lost to Houston in the Elite Eight, 67-61, went back to their hotel thinking that they were going to get a nice rest before they had to fly out in the morning. No. NCAA was not having it. Check this out. The NCAA had a nice parting gift for Oregon State. As soon as they got back to the hotel, they were told to pack up and get on a 1:15 a.m. flight back to Eugene. Everyone had to hurriedly pack and head to the airport. Team arrives at 4 a.m. on Tuesday. Not very classy. Standard practice or not, this is ridiculous by the NCAA. They wouldn't save anything on hotel rooms because you would have already had it paid for by then with normal checkout rules. I mean, yeah, like who wants to play in a game and then immediately catch a flight right after? There were other teams that didn't fly out till 10 a.m. the next day, so you totally could have made sure that that team didn't have to get on a flight at 1:15 in the morning to arrive back at 4 a.m. So NCAA, do better. I don't know how many times we have to tell y'all to do better. Like first it's the women's weight room, now this. Come on. Let the brothers get some rest. And speaking of rest, this last one is now a signed, sealed deal. So last year in March of 2020, the Players Association voted that 17-game season. Of course, it was a very fine line between those votes. There were a lot of players that were not for it. A lot of big-name players like Richard Sherman, Emmanuel Sanders even spoke out about it. Russell Wilson, tons of guys were not for this. But it got voted in anyway. And now the owners actually got to vote on it, and it officially is passed. So the 2021 season, we will have a 17-game season, an 18-week actual season. I think it's interesting because I thought it was going to be a unanimous decision between all the owners, but Chicago Bears actually did not vote in favor of this. Players, of course, still came out and had stuff to say about it. Alvin Kamara even tweeted that basically it was dumb as heck, but in other words. And of course, other players have been saying stuff about it too. The biggest issue is the lack of rest that these players are going to get. Already having a 16-game season, their bodies go through it. There will only be 3 preseason games, but as we all know, a lot of the stars, because of what happened with Adrian Peterson and him getting injured during a preseason game, a lot of these guys don't really play during preseason. If they do, it's like the last preseason game and maybe for a quarter. So the 3 preseason thing doesn't really benefit a lot of these star players, but that 17-game season is going to be tough on their bodies. As a fan, I don't know if I want to see the players' bodies kind of go through this and be dirt tired going into the playoffs. But it is what it is. We shall see how it turns out. We will be seeing it in 2021. The schedule has actually already been released for that 17th game. So it's happening, guys. And of course, I like to end the show with a silver lining, and my silver lining is, thank goodness these guys were safe. So the Utah Jazz chartered plane was actually bombarded by a flock of birds when it was taking off, and they had to have an emergency landing. This is what the plane looked like when it landed. It had blood all over it. There were like parts of it ripped off. All I have to say here is, what kind of flock of birds was that? Like, were those like pterodactyls, like some dinosaur kind of birds or something? Because how do birds do that to a giant steel plane? Like, that is insane. But it's a silver lining because nobody was injured besides the birds. This is a silver lining for the humans because those birds got destroyed by that plane. But maybe it'll teach them a lesson to not go straight into a plane and try to take the plane on, because the plane will win. That's all I gotta say about that. But that does it for Run It Back with Britt this week. Thank you so much for checking it out. I will see you guys next week for more trending things in sports. Make sure you like this video, click subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Peace!